Let's. Good morning, everybody. Let's get started. We'll start with the roll call.
Al Bourne here.
Linda Siri here.
John Gamelke here,
George Jones here.
David Mijares here.
Kelly Case here.
and John Hugh is not here. Jerry, can you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. Prior meeting minutes. Al,
As secretary, I have reviewed the minutes. I found them to be in very good order.
Thank you.
Therefore, I would move to approve them as written.
Second.
take a vote.
Bourne, yes.
Well,
You weren't here, so.
I wasn't here yet.
Yes, ma'am. So just so you know, and Linda, when you do talk, you have to turn your microphone off.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Jerry?
Good, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Jones, yes.
Mijares, yes.
Thank you. Public comment only on matters that are on the agenda. Don't see anybody. All right.
Yeah.
So introduction to the new members. Thank you, Kelly, for coming on board with us.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir, for coming back on board with us, reapplying. Thank you, Linda, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Do you have anything to add to our new members? Mark?
No, I don't have anything. I mean, if the new
Long
members,
name tag.
yeah, if the new members wanted to, tell us, how you're affiliated with the DDA or within the boundaries work, that's the introduction side of it, really.
Okay.
So we have two businesses in town, BeerWorks and Peak Wellness, where I'm a nurse practitioner and I see patients in town for hormones and weight loss and all that stuff. And BeerWorks people go there to drink beer. My contribution, I'm learning, so we'll see what I can bring. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Kelly Case. My office, the Case Advantage at High Country Realty, is located at 750 Highway 24 in the Anderson Building. And the rest of it is history.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
I won't bore you.
We look forward to your help with the DDA. I know, Kelly, you bring a lot of experience and we look forward to what you can bring as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so now we get to the election. Since we have new members and it is that time, I'm going to let Josh lead this part, please.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Chair. So according to your bylaws, in July of each year, you will go through your election process for the officers on your board. This election is purely related to the officers of the board. So you're not really doing any kind of motion or action as the board overall. Y'all are going to be nominating each position, and then y'all will, go through the election process as you typically do. So we'll start with the position of secretary, just because I think it would be easier to do that, John. That way you can just continue to be acting as the chair until we get to the chair vote.
Okay.
So if we would like to start, is there a nomination for the position of secretary, which currently has been Director Bourne?
Yeah, I'll nominate Al for secretary.
Second.
And I accept that. I'll continue.
Thank you.
All right. Would you like to call for a vote on
Yes.
that nomination for?
Yes, so let's take a vote on that, please.
I'll vote for myself. Bourne, yeah.
Siri, yes.
Good, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Jones, yes.
Mijares, yes.
Case, yes.
Okay, so Al Bourne is our secretary. Now we're going to move to the vice chair position, which I believe is held by Director Good. Is there a nomination for the position of vice chair?
Who
Okay.
serves in that capacity right now?
What's that?
Who's
Director Good.
Gary's vice chair right now? Okay, thank you.
I would nominate Jerry Good to continue as vice chair.
And I'll second that.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair? All right, hearing none. If you'd like to call for a vote, and everyone votes on it.
Bourne, yes.
Cecily, yes.
I'll abstain.
Gabalki, yes.
Jones, yes.
Miharis, yes.
Thank
Case,
you,
yes.
everybody. Thank you, everybody.
So Jerry Good has been nominated and voted as your vice chair for the year. Now we'll move to the position of chair. Do we have a nomination for chair?
Bourne would nominate John to be our chair for the next year. Or is this gonna be a 1-year term or 2?
Yeah.
It's
One.
1 year.
It'd be 1 year. Okay, for 1 year.
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing none. You want to call for a vote, John?
Bourne, yes.
Cecily, yes.
Good, yes.
Gabalki, yes.
Jones, yes.
Miharis, yes.
Case, yes.
Thank you, everybody. I
Chair Gabalki.
appreciate it.
There you
Thank
go.
Thank you very much. I hope we can, I think we'll have a really good year. I'm looking forward to the new input and the new people on the board and see what we can come up with this year to help the city of Woodland Park, the downtown district. So looking forward to it. Thank you very much. Josh, do you want to, is this you or is this me? C?
So this one would have been me. But I was informed this morning by city staff that the actual amount, just as a recap on this particular agenda item. So for this annual budget of the DDA, you approved a budget of $200,000 for the micro grant program. At the last meeting, there was a discussion that the total amount of the micro grants that came in might exceed the 200,000 by, it was, I think like 6,000 is what they were maybe estimating. So we went ahead and prepared this resolution that would have amended your budget by 10,000 to give that flexibility. But this morning, city staff informed me that the amount is actually under 200,000 by how much?
So it's a little about $1,500. The total came in at 198, 137, 78.
So we no longer need this resolution, so you don't have to do anything with it. We can just pass it right next to the 6D.
Thank you, Josh.
Could I inject here? I have something. I'd like to ask the board if, when we have items come up on the agenda, can they please be read into the record so people online and listening that may not have the agenda know what we're talking about?
Sure.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's very true. So that was 6C, which is Resolution 2026-06, a resolution approving the proposed amendment to the Woodland Park Downtown Development Authority's 2026 budget, increasing the 2026 microgrant budget by $10,000 and requesting City Council's approval of the budget amendment and supplemental appropriations. And as we discussed just a little bit ago, that is no longer needed. There's no need to amend the budget, so we don't need to do anything or take action on this agenda item.
Thank you. I'm gonna actually read this one now, Kelly.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
That does make sense. Thank you. So then item D, which would be resolution 2026-07, a resolution conditionally approving a grant of $165,000 to the city of Woodland Park for public infrastructure improvement costs connected to the reimagining. It says imaging.
It does.
Reimagining Bergstrom Park project, approving a proposed amendment to the authority's 2026 budget and requesting city council approval of the budget amendment and supplemental appropriations.
Thank you, Chair. And that was completely my fault. I wasn't quite sure if it was re-imaging or reimagining. Kind of seeing it both ways. So We can correct that, but it's the Reimagining Bergstrom Park project. And I'm actually going to turn it over to city staff for their presentation.
All right, good morning, board. Before we go into the request for the 165, we are going to look at where you are at the end of 2025 and then also take a look at your outstanding debt service so you can have a better picture of where we are before we're asking for this funding to be allocated. All right, so Anita, you can go to the next slide for me. All right, so we started 2025 off, beginning fund balance of 1,373,000. We had revenues of 1,066,000, which was a little bit over the projected budget because property taxes were in arrears there. We had expenditures of 716,000, which was 96% of the budget. So we had an ending fund balance of 1,723,000. We can go to the next slide. All right, and here's an overview of the larger items in your budget. So property taxes, we had 997,000 received, which was a 5% increase over the previous year and about 6% over budget there. We had interest accrued of 68,826 on your fund balance, which was a lot more than what we had budgeted because we missed that in the budget line, but it was 61,000 the year before, so we were $7,500 more than the previous year. Operating expenditures, you had 356,000, which was 94% of your budget amount. And we had debt service payments of 359,000, which gave you a total expenditures of 716. And then we do have a little breakdown here. Oh, if you go to the next slide. Sorry, I'm not controlling it here. We have, here's the breakdown of what you actually received in revenue. So we had 997 in property tax revenue, 68,000 in interest. If you go to the next slide for me. And then this is the breakdown of all of your budget items that you have for expenditures. So you had $130,000 in TIF reimbursements. You had $136,795 in micro grants, 58,947 for legal services, which was more because of the micro grant program from last year. And then we had county treasurer fees of 30,000. And so that makes up your total expenditures there of 356. And if we go to the next slide, this is the breakdown of your debt service for the year. So we had 250 for your Vectra bridge loan for 2012, 49,754 in interest, 50,000 for the 2018 Vectra loan, and then 14,405 for the interest on that loan. All right, and then if you go to the next slide for me. Okay, this is the overview of the amount outstanding that you had at the end of 2025. Obviously, we're in the middle of 2026 now, so this number is going to change on the next slide. But your ending balance for your principal payments was 1,159,000 for the two different debt services at the end of 2025. If you go to the next slide for me. Okay, here's where we are for 2026 and 2027. So at the end of 2026, you had 844,000 left outstanding for your principal balances, 744 for 2012 and 100,000 for 2018. If you look at the next two columns over, the interest that you're going to pay in 2027 and 2028 is outlined there. So you'll have 34,749 in interest payment in 27 and 21,337 in 2028. So I wanted you all to have a good idea of what is actually left on the debt service. It is scheduled to be paid off in 2028, June 1st. So you're pretty close to being able to pay this off pretty quickly here.
And so we kind of blew through that pretty quickly, but I believe your the interest that we gained on our cash in hand or whatever we're invested in far outran that interest that.
It does. We were at about 68,000
68,
this past year and 61 the year before. So it's definitely more than the interest payments. And the interest payments are going to go down each year because the principal is much less.
And what's the, do you know the rate, the interest rate that we're?
It's variable. I think it's 3.25 to 3.75.
Oh,
It's pretty low.
That is pretty low, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I wish my variable was that low.
Yeah, and we are still in the interest in our investment account. I think we're still receiving 4.25. So it's more than the bond amount. Yeah.
Right.
We're never looking to make money on that, but it doesn't make sense really to pay it off at this moment since the interest rate is lower.
So low, yeah.
All right, so that's any questions on that?
That was a very fast.
Yes, yeah.
Do you
Yeah, I'd like to look at it.
Stare at it a little more.
Yeah.
What was the treasurer fees of 30,000? What did that entail?
Can you go back, Anita, to,
Does everybody pay that? That treasurer makes a boatload.
yes, it's 3%.
Everybody, all entities pay that?
Correct,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, so we pay that as a city as well. Correct.
That's what we pay them for the service of collecting property taxes on our behalf.
That's not negotiable.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not something the city receives. That's to the county.
And the TIF reimbursement is that 2026, the green? Oh, no, that's
It's
actual.
2025 actuals.
Okay,
20, and
And
it
that
does,
won't
it does vary every year.
right. It
Based on
won't
the
include
property
Tava
taxes assessed.
yet.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So, and you're saying to pay off the loan. I mean,
To
I
pay
get
off
it. So
what?
we're making like 15, 16
Can you go one slide back?
is
Anita?
actually the extra, I think.
There we
It's
go.
less than 20.
Board, I would also like to remind you all, so we're on agenda item
Right.
6D, which is the resolution to approve the $165,000 grant.
Never mind. It's another meeting, another time. Thank you.
Yep, we can discuss that more later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted you to see the fund balance that you had available at this time.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, can we go to the other presentation, Anita? Oh, excellent. And one more comment, we will in September bring you the 2026 projections. We just aren't there yet for where we're gonna think year end is gonna look like. All right, so this is the reimagining Bergstrom Park presentation. If you go to the next slide for me, Anita, we did this master plan in the later half of last year, and we did have tremendous community support for the project. We had over 1,400 interactions with the community and responses between the open houses that we did. We had 2 different open houses, and then we also had an online option for people to go on there and give us feedback. So we did have quite a bit of community support and engagement for this one. The project map, as everybody knows, this is the existing Bergstrom Park parcel. It's right in the middle of downtown. It's right in front of where the new Tava development is. If we go to the next slide. As part of this project and master plan, we looked at it and said, you know what, we need more space. We need more room for this right in the middle of downtown. So the city did acquire 2 additional parcels just to the west of the existing Bergstrom Park. And we purchased both of these lots in order to extend the park and add parking. And also do some new connections and things to the road. So if we go one more slide down. So as a result of being able to purchase that additional property, we're able to redesign the entire park, add 71 additional parking spots, add RV parking, add new perpendicular and parallel parking along the bottom section here of Saddle Club Avenue. And we're able to make a connection from Saddle Club to West Street to Center Street and kind of just really change the way that this plaza functions and the way that our downtown is able to be assessed and just the look and feel of the downtown when people are driving through and just experiencing it. So if we go to the next slide, you can see a close-up of how the park would function. We're taking the parking that used to be on the east side of the lot. We're taking that and making it all green space so that when you're driving through town, what you see is a beautiful park as opposed to a parking lot. And then we're moving the parking onto the other side, onto the south side of the road and making that new connection there. If you go to the next slide, you can see where we'll have a roundabout and we'll have additional larger parking for vans or RVs. We're also going to have some green space to be able to walk your dog if people are coming into town and just need to stop for a minute. So we really did try to think through what would make sense for our downtown area and how we can enhance the downtown in general. If we go to the next slide. Okay.
You did.
Oh, I'm sorry, not a roundabout. It's a it's circular so that we could do food trucks there. We could have other little community events in that space as well, in addition to Memorial Park. Yes. No roundabouts unless we can unless we absolutely need it. Unless CDOT says we gotta have a roundabout.
And so this first phase is what we're looking for is the engineering design to be able to do the parking lot and the road connection. And so we did get a quote. This is not a bid. We do have to put this out for a formal bid process, but the quote that we received was about 147,000 plus a 10% contingency, just in case the bids come back a little bit higher. So what we're looking for is 165,000 to be able to start this project, to do the engineering piece of it.
Question, does that include the improvements to West Street?
It does not.
Okay.
Yeah, it does not. That would be definitely a later phase.
Well, hopefully, but we now see. that.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Well, to build the parking lot, we wouldn't have to do any additional improvements to West Street, but if we want to do more connection, yes, we would have to. Yeah.
So in this phase, do we get rid of the parking lot then that we see now?
Yes,
So that is part of this?
correct.
Okay,
I mean, this is just the engineering for it,
Yeah.
but yes, this is the engineering to do that.
okay.
Yeah, so it wouldn't go away. They're just doing the studies.
Right.
Yeah, this is only
But
design
it
and
will go.
engineering,
I mean,
so
I
that we
like-
could then bid out
But
the
ultimately,
project.
Yeah.
All right, any questions?
Any questions?
The
Or-
number of traffic studies that we've done.
And uh, you say it's just the first part. In the long term, you're expecting a lot more grants from DDA, is that correct, or?
Absolutely, yes. You know, the city has put in 695,000 plus the master plan cost, so we're at about 725 on our end so far. So we would like the DDA to be a partner in this project.
And in history, we've also had the acquisition of that piece that's below what we acquired last year. And I don't even remember when we got,
It's a long
acquired
time
that,
ago.
but we've had it a long time. So the city has pretty significant investment
Mhm.
already in the project.
I like the idea.
You like
So,
that idea?
I mean, most of us went to the meetings. I think I saw you at every meeting that I went to. I think you like the Bergstrom Park idea, don't you?
Oh, yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I mean, I was surprised that we were the ones ponying up for the, development of it. They're, just kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
You're talking about last month. When we discussed that, yeah.
Yeah, they're, so, but, there's other, I guess, knowing this topic, I was thinking things like I was talking with the fire chief, then they could sure use another firefighter, and that runs about 180,000 a year for something like that. Whereas they're shorted because of TIF agreements. And also, I'm thinking that we shouldn't ignore that if we're looking to, cover somebody's debts. Maybe the fire department would be a good place to start too.
Well, if I can, so I hear that the fire department is not part of the downtown development. Correct? It's not even in the district, the fire department. I understand we take some of their funds, but let me just think out loud. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to. If we
50, right?
We did, and they got a fire truck out of the deal, and that benefits, so that directly benefits, and I understand where you're going with that. That directly benefits downtown plus other areas.
Sure.
That is true. But if I go along those thinkings, every taxing entity that pays into this so that we can have this, they should be able to come and say, give us some money. Give us some of that money back. We need this, we need that, right? And in that vein of thinking, it could go that way.
Yeah, it's just the reality of the world is that we're keeping their money. If we got extra money, then I think the right thing to do would be to make sure that they're taken care of. But I understand, in the past, Woodland Station is, I don't know how many what am I trying to say? Studies have been done and how much money has been spent over and over.
Yeah.
And I would just caution against, just, I don't think that's the way to do it.
So I would again, I don't know who you want me to get with, if it's Kip or Karen or whoever, because we have a wealth of information on all that stuff that might shortcut some of the costs.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And I would just remind the board that, I almost said the council, that our guiding document is very clear about what our mission is, what our purpose is. And it is really to invest in the downtown, in beautification and improvements in infrastructure and a multitude of different things in the downtown. And that's really what our charge is. And so I see this as probably the epitome or the absolute best thing that we could invest in is those improvements to that park. And it gives something that's been needed on that side of the road for 100 years. So I'm really excited to see it starting. It's going to be phased and hopefully we'll be alive to see the finish of it, right? So anyway, I support this wholeheartedly.
Well, I got one more comment. I was talking with Lori Gloth about the Antler Archway going through, and I said, Lori, you're head of the Historical Society, or I'm sorry, the Arts Alliance, and why those antlers need refurbished, need some attention before they deteriorate. They replaced the set of antlers that was done before that withered away. So I said, this DDA grant, that's perfect.
Talk about the micro grants.
Yeah, the micro grant that's what it's for, is to beautify downtown. And so anyway, she told me that she was told that the city could not take money from the DDA as a grant, that would be a conflict. I assume based on Charter 917 is where they were coming. So my question is, what differentiates this from being able to pay for, because the antlers were owned by the city now and the city couldn't do that. So
I believe the microgrants specifically don't allow for the city properties to apply for the microgrants. It's specific to that program that we have. It's not that the city cannot partner with the DDM projects.
okay.
But that's a fair question, definitely.
I saw something on Facebook soliciting from the city.
Yeah, I did too.
Input about what would we want there in that space between the back arch and the front arch of the Antler Alley. So I assume that's Main Street.
That is Main Street.
Yeah.
Yes, Main Street is looking at that. We're looking at grants. We're looking at options of what we could do to enhance that area and just starting to get that community feedback of what the community wants that area to look like and what we can fit in there, both budget wise and space wise.
And thank you for doing that.
Yeah, you're
I know
welcome.
the community appreciates the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Anita, can we have those numbers back up? Thank you.
See you
We're gonna
later.
miss you, David. Have a nice day.
Yeah. There we go. So right now, the question on the table is the approval of those dollars with the contingency that we may have some studies or engineering reports from, is it from Tava then? It would be?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they'll share those with us,
Yeah.
yes. But yeah, we're looking for 165 max at this moment.
Yeah.
And if we spend less, we spend less. Obviously, we're only going to ask the DDA to reimburse
Right.
whatever's actually spent.
You said if Tava will share them with us?
No,
I think it's more than just Tava. David's done a lot of work over the years.
yeah.
Or the DDA on that property. So there may be some reports and things that have been done in the past that would be useful.
There's quite a bit of work that's been done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So are we ready for a motion, Chair?
I do believe we are.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-07 as presented.
Second,
Take a vote.
Born, yes.
Cecilia, yes.
Good, yes.
Gamelki, yes.
Jones, yes.
Case, yes.
Thank you. Passes. Thank you. Is this you or city staff? That would be you. Thank you.
That would be me, but do you want to introduce the?
Yeah, so the 2026 micro grant program update.
Thank you, Chair. I mentioned earlier, our total came in at 198,137.78. We had 40 grants approved. I do want to just congratulate the board and thank you for the investment into the community. I know when we brought it back last year, we were hoping for a handful of them, and this has been very, very popular. So I just want to thank you guys for that investment. It's been amazing.
Yeah, this is excellent. I just have a question. Last year, how many grants did we have? Was it like 30?
I think it was 30. We topped it out at 30, and I
Yeah.
think we actually ended up having 28
Right,
that
actually.
were approved.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Right now we have 3 that are completed. There are 2 final reports on your agenda today for approval. We have 10 that are waiting for you guys to sign them, the grant agreements themselves. And then we are still waiting on 8 for grantees to sign, in order for them to move forward on their projects. Any questions?
Are there these final report, does this mean that Fiesta Mexicana is done and the model citizen are both done?
Done.
That is correct. They have finished so the process is once they finish their project, they have to submit a final report to us with pictures of the before and after, all their receipts, so that we verify whether the costs were eligible costs and that it came in under the grant amount. And if it came in over, we still only pay up to what their grant amount was. So those 2 have been completed, their projects are completed, and the final reports are up there with you guys to review and approve.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Chair, as a reminder, the grant program for 2026 includes as part of its process that the board does the review of the final reports and the board makes a final decision on the actual approval of the disbursement of the funds. So what should occur for each final report is that you're looking through it, you're making sure that what city staff is providing to you is meeting the requirements. And then y'all vote on each independent final report, because there's a possibility that you could find that one final report meets all requirements, but another one doesn't. For each final report, staff has put together an agenda item report on AIR that you can review. At the end of each of those, on the last page, is motion options. So there's already a, written out motion that anyone can actually read if they want to approve or not approve one of the final reports. So we would take each one at a time. So the next agenda item would be 6EI, which is the final report of Fiesta Mexicana Restaurant number 1.
I don't see it as Fiesta Mexicana in here. Is it under the address or a different name? Do you know?
Unincorporated,
Huh?
number 1 incorporated.
Final reports are in the packet.
Yeah, I think you're looking at the grant agreements that need to be signed.
One of them is for model citizen.
Correct, which you would need to sign.
So they're already done and it hasn't even been signed.
Correct, and technically you would need to sign that grant agreement before y'all make the final approval, but in the end, it comes out to the same situation.
Okay.
That did move forward. I would recommend that we have a grant agreement in place before the applicant was to proceed. but that they do that at their own risk. So there is a possibility that you could decide not to sign the grant agreement for whatever reason or not approve it, and that's at their own risk. That's not the DDA's issue. So
If we're to look at these and approve them and nobody's looked at them, how are we supposed to approve them today?
I've looked at them.
no, city staff does look at them.
Yeah.
So city staff looks at each, and the grant agreement has already been signed by my office as approved to form. It's just the fact that you have a meeting once a month. So either you're going to have to come up here every single time a grant agreement's ready to be signed and sign them, or this situation is going to occur, which again, that's at risk of the applicant. It's not something that the DDA is going to be worried about for the applicant. But in this situation, when it comes to the final reports, city staff has reviewed all of the application materials. They
Yeah.
have reviewed the receipts, the invoices, that show that they've actually paid those amounts. They've reviewed the pictures. We put all of that into this packet for you to review as well at this moment.
And Chair, just to remind you, anything you have before you, grant agreement wise, has been reviewed by city staff, has ensured that they have a complete packet, and has gone to the review committee.
Okay.
So you and John have approved those.
Yes.
It's just for the board to sign them.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
So with that in mind, we're moving to 6EI, which is the final report of Fiesta Mexicana Restaurant number 1. The agenda item summary has been provided to you as part of the packet. Again, it goes through and explains that city staff has done a review of the final report. The documents have been provided, so all the technical issues and requirements have been met. So at this point in time, the board would need to do a motion to either approve or not approve the final report of Fiesta Mexicana number 1.
I'm
More.
prepared to make that motion if we're ready.
We are ready.
Thank you. I will make a motion to move to approve the final report of Fiesta Mexicana Restaurants number 1 Incorporated and for the city to issue payment in the amount of $5,000 as disbursement of the awarded grant for recoverable costs.
Born will second.
Cesare second. Oh, I'm sorry.
Next time.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the final report and issue grant funds. We go to a vote.
Born, yes.
Cesare, yes.
Good, yes.
Gamelki, yes.
Jones, yes.
Case, yes.
All right,
Thank
that
you.
one's approved. And the next one is going to be 6E number 2, which is the final report for Model Citizen Coffee Company, LLC. As you have noted, the grant agreement for your signature is in front of you, so that will be signed today. Outside of that, city staff has done a final agenda item summary report and review of all of the technical documents that needed to be filed. So it's open to a motion or discussion on y'all's motion.
Board, I just want to let you know that we did receive an email from them specifically thanking us. I guess they had a visitor that was in a wheelchair and their wheelchair kind of lost control. And the fence that they did put up saved this gentleman from going into Highway 24.
Oh,
Excellent.
So they were very, very thankful that you guys had covered that for them potentially if you approve it today.
And on the handrail, since we're talking about that, did we need to get CDOT's approval since that's their property? Technically? Did we?
We don't need to. The way that the program is drafted is that everything is up to the applicant to
Okay.
do correctly, and they
VDOT
file a
didn't say anything.
certification with us saying they've done it all.
Through our approval process, it does go to our planning. And so they say whether there needs to be a permit city-wise, but as far as that, as Josh mentioned, that's on the applicant.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the final report of Model Citizen Coffee Company, LLC, and for the city to issue payment in the amount of $5,000 as disbursement of the awarded grant for recoverable costs.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Linda.
You're so welcome.
take a vote.
Bourne, yes.
Cicero, yes.
Good, yes.
Gemelki, yes.
Jones, yes.
Case, yes.
Passes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Discussion items. Are we ready to move on then, Josh?
Yes, Chair.
Bond series 2012 and 2018. Chair and city staff and the DDA attorney.
So, Chair, we put this on here. There was an interest that you presented on potentially paying off the bonds for 2012 and 2018, which was great that we had the financials from earlier. And if we could
Yes.
get those back, that would be.
So I apologize. I didn't see that on the agenda. That's why I did it on the. Sorry about that. We did that a little out of order.
Nita, if you could get the debt schedule back up, please. The financial report. Thank you.
I thought you were bringing yours up just to show what we did have, Aaron. So it was kind of appropriate still.
It was, but
Yeah.
yes, I didn't realize I would have waited.
Oh, so again, yeah, we went over this.
So Anita, if you go to slide 7 for us, sorry. Go ahead.
So there's,
Oh, one more slide, sorry. So we just made the payment on June 1st for this, so that's why the number, we're looking at 26's end balance already.
so there's, just to be clear, there's discussion or some intention to pay off the debt.
I believe the chair wanted to look at what was left and how
I
much
just
interest
took a
we were
look at
paying.
it.
Okay.
Yes.
And then earlier we discussed the fact that these monies are making more than the interest is paying out.
It's a wash at worst.
Yeah, at worst.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
And it'll only get less of a wash as you move forward because the debt service is going to be so much less as we
Mhm.
move into 2027 and 2028.
Okay.
If there's no interest in it from the rest of the board, I'm okay with leaving it as it is. I just thought it was worth discussing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, no, it's interesting. I mean, it certainly, you know, with the interest rate variable as it is, it's still very low. The interest payments are less than what we're making on the monies invested. So yeah, to me, it's
Certainly philosophically, I like to be debt-free, but I can also understand the use of borrowed capital for leverages for projects, you
Right.
know. And we may be into that arena, you know, where
And I do believe that we do need to have a certain amount of debt as well. Josh, could you maybe explain that, please, a little bit?
Yeah, Chair. So just as a reminder, this is just a discussion item,
Yes.
so there wouldn't be any action,
Correct.
official action taken. A DDA underneath the state statutes basically pulls in TIF funding in order to pay debt. So there typically should be some form of debt in place. But arguably, we could say your TIF agreements are future debts. So I think you're covered even if the bonds were paid off.
Yeah.
Like, because there are those actual contractual agreements to be paying
Mhm.
back reimbursement amounts. So you're okay there.
Okay.
okay.
And-
May I ask a question?
Yes,
Aaron, remind me, is the debt that the DDA owes the city paid off completely?
It
I know
is,
is.
yes.
Thank you.
good discussion.
but is there any interest in, do we want to just leave it as is, or do we want to continue? Or is there any interest in paying it off?
Not
Or-
from me. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think that it's good to have the discussion for sure. And I think that with the interest that or the monies that we're making overwhelming the interest that we're paying, I think this is a good If there is good debt, this is good debt.
Well, it's paying for itself.
It's paying for itself.
Yeah.
And it also keeps our money going and investing in the community as well, which is our job.
All right. Well, thank you for letting us discuss it. Does anybody have anything on that?
Nope.
Nothing additional.
Item number 8, public comment. Public comment on matters not on the agenda. No? All right. Board chair report. Glad to be here. Looking forward to seeing what we can do for in another year. And thank you for coming on, you two. Appreciate it. Kelly, Linda, thank you very much. Yeah. I don't really have much more. I don't have much more. Oh, good.
Invoice.
I do have an invoice for our lawyer, and I don't know where it is in my pile of stuff here. Did you give me the invoice? I got it right here. I got it right here. This is a Fiesta Mr. Con model citizen. I don't have the invoice in front of me. Josh, can you?
Yeah, it's in the packet. The amount is $3,969.
No, I've got mine. I just thought I'd have it in front of me. I apologize.
Sure. I'm just happy to share.
We can get that printed out for you to sign. We'll go do that right now.
Okay, thank you.
Board
I-
will move to approve invoice dated June 9th, 2026 for attorney services in the amount of $3,969.
Case will second.
Take a vote.
Bourne, yes.
Ciceri, yes.
Good, yes.
Gamelke, yes.
Jones, yes.
Case, yes.
I believe the next item 9B would be your spot, Josh.
Thank you, Chair. So this is really just informational, wanting to keep the board informed of our fee system that we have for our fee schedule, excuse me. Our firm was happy to add a paralegal for work on certain legal matters, which basically means that we've added in a new fee rate for a paralegal at $145 per hour. She's going to be assisting our office a lot when it comes to preparing the agenda, which means that I won't be the one who's doing all of that work at my hourly rate. So really this just becomes a benefit for the board. And this is just letting y'all know. So putting that forward for y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
She as good as you are?
She's better.
That's it.
Board member reports. Does anybody have?
Bourne has nothing additional.
Ciceri has anything.
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good too. Thank
I
you.
have nothing.
All right,
Thank
thank you. Meeting
Move to
adjourned.
adjourn.
Yeah. That was quick. Faster than I thought. Thank you.
Good.